What's up, Fox? Fox here, and today we are trying to see if your graphics card will run Valhalla. So first things first, let's take a look at the specs that are listed on the website. Some of them are accurate, some of them not so much, and I'll go through that really quickly. So they say the absolute minimum for 1080p and 30 FPS on the low preset is a GeForce GTX 960 or R9 380. The recommended for 1080p 30 FPS on high is a GeForce GTX 1060. For high settings, 1080p 60 FPS, you're looking at a GTX 1080 for the enthusiast, RX 5700 XT or RTX 2080 Super. And for Ultra at 4K 30 FPS, you're looking at a 5700 XT or RTX 2080. So I gotta give it to the developers. They definitely do have a long list of the recommended requirements, which is pretty cool to see. However, they're not entirely accurate, as you'll see as we talk about these graphics cards. So first things first, an RTX 2070 Super. Now at 1080p, it was at above 60 FPS on the high preset. And at 4K, it was at 32 FPS with the high preset. And in the middle, 1440p ran at 50 FPS on the high settings, and I think that's where this sort of game shines. The graphics are going to look fantastic. You're also getting a higher resolution without taking away a whole chunk of frame rate. Do keep in mind that this is not on our normal test bench, the 2070S, because that is in my laptop, which runs an 8-core processor. And although I will likely have a processor review coming up for this game, I don't think that processors make nearly as much of a difference as they used to back with Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. With a 6-core or an 8-core, you'll be able to see about 37% usage here and there, and that's about it. So it definitely is more GPU reliant, even down at 1080p. However, going back to our original test bench, this is where things get spicy. Obviously, a 2070S should be able to handle this game pretty well. And I do want to preface that the 2070S in my laptop has been comparable to a GTX 1080, which is why I didn't test that, because it's only about a 3% difference, so you should see about the same frame rates for either one. However, to get back to the test bench, it's the GTX 1060. One of the most popular graphics cards of all time, and still the most popular on Steam. There's a reason why this graphics card does so well. You're good on a budget, but even today it still holds up rather well. With 46 FPS on average, with everything on the high settings at 1080p, you're looking at a very playable result. I don't know how hard you'd have to push to get 60 FPS. I'd assume low settings might get you there, but you may also have to decrease the resolution a little bit, which is nice because they do have a resolution scale in the game. And then comes the worst card of the bunch. I understand this is going to be a pretty short video, so I apologize for that, but you have to understand this game is only limited to DX12 or newer, so I could not run my 750 Ti or my GTX 470, which I really was hoping to do because I think that would be hilarious. However, it is only stuck at a 950 when the minimum requirements are a 960 for 1080p 30. However, I was actually surprised. The GTX 950 averaged 26 FPS at 1080p, so not playable, and I can understand why they nixed that out of their recommended specs. However, at 900p, I saw an average of 31 FPS, which is playable if you're willing for a more console-like sort of experience. So the problem that I have with this little list that they have is the fact that they don't have a whole lot of specification. They recommend a GTX 1080 for 1080p 60 FPS. You can get 1440p 60 FPS if you meddle with the settings a little bit, and I honestly think that high wouldn't be an issue for that graphics card. And I definitely do not think that you need a 2080 Super to run this game at the very high preset at 1440p. I think that you'll probably do just fine with the 2080. And again, it's all subjective. Do you need a solid 60 FPS? Are you willing to take 55? You know, it's all up to you. But I think that this game definitely is pushing the upper limits, and I'm interested to see how it runs on consoles. I'll definitely be looking at videos on that, because if it takes a GTX 960 to just get the game running at low, I have a feeling that you're probably seeing even lower settings on the Xbox One that aren't in the configuration for the PC. With that said, if you have any of these graphics cards, you probably know what you're walking into. If you still have a 950, you shouldn't expect to play this game at 1080p. However, 900p is still great. The 1060 will still kick ass. You can probably change some settings down to low and medium if you want to hit 60 FPS. If you have a GTX 1080 or 2070 Super, congratulations, you're still going to have a fantastic time. And of course, if you have a 30 series graphics card, why are you watching this video? Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, do what you usually do, and as always, buy yourself something nice. I just smacked the graphics card.
And you got one of those.
However, after seeing the performance of the 30 series cards and learning about rumors that the graphics cards will be on laptops faster than you thought, what do you do? But more importantly, what do you do if you're thinking about buying a 2070 or 2070 model laptop?
Not that one.
This is a bit more complicated than I thought it would be, because sometimes there is a clear-cut